No weed vibe, no wine vibe, just good vibe. You feel me?
Hello, yo, welcome back to Live at Its Peak once more. It's your boy George again. Hope everything is going great and everything is going amazing as well. And yeah, man, you can see from my face right now, I'm so drained. But yeah, that's not the energy we want right now, of course. Because, man still had to pull up out here to give you all another episode, of course. It's like my favorite thing to do. I'm not going cap. But yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, I'm gonna break down my week first. Everything was good. Well, I don't know, it's been time, but my past 2 weeks, everything was good. Actually feeling a little bit better. This time I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Yeah, I normally start with song and everything, but I'm gonna give you guys a little story. You know how, because you know how, well, back home first, like when they ask you to write essays and stuff, they'll be like, you have to start with, here they call it a catch. You need to start with a catch. Well, it's like, I don't know if it's an anecdote. I don't know if that's what it's still called. Yeah, but I forget about it. But I'm gonna give you all a little bit story, like a tiny story of me, like my life so far. So this past few weeks has been a little bit different. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You can hear that in my voice. It's been a little bit different. It's been strange. And I spoke to quite some people about it. I'm like, yo, is this normal? Because, last week I came out here talking about, basically planning your life, getting your, actually normalizing to plan your lives and everything. And, for me, it's been different because, once I try to keep it consistent, try to keep it consistent for some time. And guess what? Stuff just started lining up together. Well, that's not directly what, not directly what I had planned and everything, but stuff just lines up, stuff was just, well, let me tell you exactly how it goes. So recently I've had my own journey of wanting to get closer to God and all that. But yeah, that's not what I'm going to talk about exactly, but that's been my recent, journey, focus, main goal right now. And, just give everything, put everything in his hands and everything, worry less. And the moment I changed that routine and everything was just different. Everything has been a little bit different in the sense that my routine changed, because I'm trying to keep it consistent. Routine changed. Strangely, even the type of music I listen to drastically switched. I'm not saying any, but I mean, that was it's a personal experience, different things, maybe stuff, different activities got in, wanting to try new things as well, of course. And I spoke to one of my friends who, before she'd been through this, journey, and I told her, yo, is it normal? And then she raised an interesting point and told me, this is actually what you call your isolation period. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but yeah, that's what you call your isolation period, where you're being put aside of all norms in order to prepare you for whatever is gonna happen and everything. But that's just not sure of what's been going on. But before that, let's get to the normals. Yeah, let's break down music. This time I still have 2 songs for you. Still, I'm in a good mood as well. And the first one actually is gonna be one from Dave. Let me look that up real quick. It's gonna be one from Dave, Both Sides of a Smile. It's, one of his most recent albums. It's not him speaking, but I'm guessing he wrote the song, yeah, if I'm not wrong. So it says, "'Cause I'll be damned if I give a loser my best years." Just think about it. Think about it. I'll be damned if I give a loser my best years. It's quite, I don't know how to put this. It's a lady speaking, she should be damned if she give, a loser, a guy, her best years and everything. But I feel that sentence specifically goes around for everybody, both guys, and no guy wants to give a loser their best years, not in that way. But yeah, same way for girls. Nobody wants that, but it's actually more serious than it looks on writing, if I can put it that way. It's actually more serious than it is, and it actually makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of parts in the song, but that's one that actually caught me specifically. And I feel like because it wasn't in his voice, it actually made me, overthink it and be like, damn. Because it's in the song, it's like, you can see it's an argument between, it's like a role play of an argument between a guy and a girl, so and everything. But yeah, that's not it. That's it. Both sides of a smile. I'm not gonna play it. And the next song is gonna be that of Salty Soul. You might have heard of it. And it's Kuliko Jana. Let me just search up the part that I actually thought about. Wait, let me put it here. Let me put it here, and that is the song. So that's the part I was looking at, yeah. For those who can see though, because I put it up on the screen. So it says, Bwana ni mwokozi wangu, tena ni kiongozi wangu, ananipenda leo kuliko jana, baraka zake hazikuishi. So the direct translation of that, it actually touched me though. The Lord is, because bear in mind, for years I've known this song, and I didn't know exactly what it directly translated into, yeah, because it just sounds good and everything, and I don't know the direct translation of the song, but this is that main part. Well, this is the main message in the song. The Lord is my savior. Again, he is my leader. He loves me today more than yesterday. His blessings never end. So I think blessings here, if I'm not mistaken, is baraka. It never ends. So I mean, it's quite straightforward. Yeah, it's quite straightforward. There's nothing much to explain about that, but the whole song is a vibe and everything. So yeah, if you want to look it up, feel free. It's by Salty Soul, Kuliko Jana. And now let's actually start the real yapping, y'all. Let's start yapping. So today, the main topic, last time I talked about, what was it again? Planning? Yeah, normalizing, planning our lives and everything. And a lot of people complain. I mean, that was the main purpose. Like, a lot of people complain, like, yo, like, you, out of nowhere, it seems like you were just rushing to end. Out of nowhere, you just stopped. Out of nowhere, you didn't continue what you were going to talk about. Well, this is why. Because today we're going to be talking about overthinking. Yeah, it's quite. And first of all, I'm gonna define what overthinking is actually. Let's look it up together. Yeah, overthinking. So the direct, like the Google, like I searched up on Google, it says overthinking means to think too much about something. So it says to put too much time into thinking about or analyzing something in a way that is more harmful than helpful. So overthinking is not just thinking about something, but it directly means you're thinking about something in a way that is more harmful than helpful to yourself. You get? And it says when you overthink, like you worry all the time. Well, let me speak for myself. Let me start speaking for myself. And I got in this question before. Like, the question was, the stuff you talk about on here, is it like stuff you read in the book, stuff like, and I just told myself, like, I mean, I'm not gonna take all credit, but look, let me be that serious. It's not scripted, by the way. And second, okay, I don't want to put myself out there like that, but majority of the stuff I talk about, like the things I talk about here, I just want to clear that. Majority of the things I talk about out here is somehow or the other stuff that has, I've been through. I'm not just gonna get out here and start talking about stuff that I read from a book. I mean, it would make sense, but like, it's kind of in such a way, like I've been through it, and I know what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, so from that definition of overthinking, actually, first of all, I'm a very, very huge overthinker myself. I'm an overthinker, man. Like, to me, and I saw this thing out the other day, and I felt so attacked. And what I saw about it was, it says, I don't know what the meme was all about, but it was like, overthinking is a sport. Like, that was the title of the actual meme. And I didn't even, just the fact that I overthought what was actually going to be in the video. I didn't watch the video. I just saw it and I was like, yo, yeah, that sounds like something that was actually directed for me. And this is me sitting out there and be like, I just think about everything and nothing. And this brings me to talk about like what actually causes us to overthink. Okay, this is a huge topic, yeah. I'm gonna try break this down. I'm gonna try like spread it out all over the place and be like, okay, the first part, I'm going to talk about it in terms of like relationships, I guess. Relationships. And the next part I'm going to talk about is just, like general. Because before this, I didn't want to talk about it in the past episode because of, how broad it was. But now I have to talk about it because it also affects, we also overthink while we want to plan, like, because okay, I think I'll go with the planning first because we're all at a stage and point in our lives where we feel like okay, I need to get my stuff together. I need to get my shit together. I need to a lot of I need tos. So you end to want to be like, okay, where will I be in the next 2 years? And I like it's normal for you to feel that way. Like, okay, I need to figure out where I'll be here, where I'll be here, where I'll be here. And at the end of the day, you end up overthinking it. I hate that I have to use the word overthinking again, but you end up, like you put yourself in a situation where you feel like it's more complex than it is, but it actually is not. Because the main idea behind overthinking is you turn to assume the worst out of the scenario that you have. So you have, like a whole scenario in front of yourself. And when you overthink it, you turn to think about it in the completely negative way. So there's no way you're going to be overthinking like, okay, this might actually turn up, it's I don't know if it's just me. Well, I'm speaking for myself right now. I don't know if it's just me, but in those type of situations, I feel like what I learned out of this, like the whole, like overthinking stuff, because I can't help it. Let me be honest. I cannot help it. It's not the best way to view things as well, but it's normal, I guess. There are people out here that are genuine overthinkers over every and anything. It's not the best, like I said, but you can't hold it upon yourself or upon whoever is, overthinking. So I'm gonna say this. In terms of like planning yourself, getting your stuff together, like planning your life, organizing your where you want to be and all that. I saw this thing. Well, it was a meme still that I came across, and it was this guy talking about this like a book he read. It was a book he read, and he was talking about how, I don't know, it was a donkey, whatever. I don't know the story, but I'm just gonna give you the idea behind the whole thing that I saw. What you don't have control over at the moment shouldn't be your concern. Like, what I'm saying? Like, not that it shouldn't be your concern at all, but in that specific moment, you shouldn't overthink it. You shouldn't, don't put yourself in that situation because it's not going to turn out good. You're genuinely not going to think good about that situation because, we're trying to solve a lot of things at the same time that will end up feeling like, okay, you miss one thing out, everything is just going to break. Nah, that's not it. And it's the same thing. Like, I'm going to use this example. Yeah. I feel like those who play football are going to get me. Those who play football are going to understand. It's like, my coach always told me, I had this coach like before. He always told me there's this thing he always screamed at me for. Because when I played, like, I always try to not overthink it, but it's actually overthinking. I don't know what I'm saying. I just try to overthink the situation. Like that was something I struggled with while playing. I always try to think for myself and think for the person I'm going to play the ball to. Which is like, in one way, it's a good thing. So you don't put that person in danger. But I genuinely would want to play what they will do when they get that ball in my head before, And I end up putting myself in a situation where I leave what is right in front of me, the easy part, and want to do something extremely hard. And he told me this one thing, which I carried on into like many different spaces in life, not just football. He told me, play what you can see. That was his one advice to me. Play what you can see. And each time, and even right now when I play, that's the same thing I tell people, because you can see when somebody's complicating stuff. Well, I'm using like, the football scenario right now, because you can see it. You can be like, okay, dude, you're doing too much. Just play what you can see. And it applies as well in life, yeah. Like while you're trying to worry about where you're gonna be, what you're gonna be doing, at the same time, it's better off if you just play with the cards you have in your hand. Just focus on what you have control over, because you can't be here and you're trying to have control over your life you live now, and you're still trying to overthink what's going to happen to you in the next, couple years, couple months. True, you should think about it because, you have to plan ahead. You need to be a couple steps ahead. But at the same time, that putting yourself in worries, overthinking and all that for what is like I don't want to say far to come. It's not the best way to view things because you're going to leave a lot of things out. You're going to forget to do a lot of stuff. Because it's the same thing like me, literally, I'm going to use myself as an example still. Me going to play football. Yeah, I'm going to say this. I have a little bit of OCD, a little bit. I feel like I have though, because, I act booky sometimes. But yeah, me going to play football, for example, or going somewhere, going for a travel, whatever. I'll pack a shoe in my bag and pack the next shoe thinking, oh, what if this one gets bad? What if this... I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to use that, but like, am I kicking? Because I'm like, what if this happens? What if this happens? I'll take a t-shirt, even when I'm like going on the plane and everything, which is like, it's a normal thing. I'll be like, okay, I'll wear the one I have on, then I'll take one, just for, in case of, I put like ketchup on my, and it's normal to have, that thought process and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to say here, like, sometimes it's not healthy, to be honest. It's not healthy, to be honest. And this takes me to like the relationship aspect of it. Yeah. Like, any relationship it might be, but the most common one. Yeah. Like, dating and stuff. Let me put it this way, yeah. We literally know in being in a relationship, first of all, it's not jokes. It's not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, yeah. We make it hard for ourselves, you get. Like, okay, like I said, I was speaking for myself. Let me continue yapping about myself out here. I'm a very, very good of a thinker. I just said I'm a good of a thinker, yeah. I'm a very, I overthink hella. And I feel like when you are with a person, well, this is my, this is my own point of view about it. When you're with a person, you're gonna know if, you can tell if they're an overthinker, because they always assume, you literally tend to assume the worst out of every single thing that happens. Because, there's this one thing I saw, it says, if you don't, if I have questions and you don't give me answers to those questions, you know what happens? I'm gonna answer those questions myself. And I'm definitely not going to be optimistic about my answers. I'm literally going to be completely negative about them. There's no way I'm bringing positivity in there. I mean, not like there's no way, but like when you're overthinking, that's the point of it, because you're assuming the worst. You're like, okay, the good example is, just basic texting. This person is an overthinker, yeah? And all you can do all the time, like one now and then, because, this also happens. I don't want to say, it's like a common thing that happens in the world right now. This person is an overthinker, and it's not the best way, obviously. It's genuinely not the best, because for that person, of course, it's not healthy. But just that person is like that. A text will do. Quick update, that one will do. But when this person sits, and let's say the person is used to getting a text like a now and then, like every quick update every 20 minutes. Okay, 20 is hella. Like, now and then, generally, depending on what you guys find yourself in. And the day that routine changes, someone who genuinely overthinks will realize, like, if you're used to texting somebody specifically at this time of the day, like, okay, you go out, you text them, you do this, you text them, your friends, oh, I'm here. The day you don't do it, that person is gonna immediately assume something is off. Like, you're completely not, you're gonna be like, okay, why they not text me now? Where are they? Who are they with? You see where the line of questioning is going with. What are they doing? It's completely not good at all. And this person starts, like putting like booky ideas in their heads. And the second they get back, that person or whoever comes back, and it's the energy is not gonna be the same. Which isn't good. Like I said, overthinking is genuinely not healthy. And yes, it is possible to actually stop it. Because in order for you to put yourself in that situation, you need to know, like in a relationship specifically, you should have found like a sort of loophole. I want to call it a loophole in order to escape those situations. Okay, I'm not going to think about this. I'm going to just do something else. Well, generally what I do, I just because it always ends up like, you're on your phone expecting this. And there was this thing that, Zendaya said, actually, I don't know, I think it was in the Spider-Man movie sometime. When you expect disappointment, you do not get disappointed. I feel like that's like a general principle behind overthinking as well, yeah? Because, you overthink, when you overthink, you're like, okay, this person is going to do this. Yeah, this person is definitely here. Okay, or let me leave, out of relationships. I'm going to use like the planning or whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to make it to this place. What would I do? I can't, you're just thinking about the genuine bad negatives of the whole situation, because you're like, okay, let me put it this way. I think it's gonna be easier to understand, because when you overthink, you put yourself in a situation that if this bad thing happens, when the bad actually does happen, you're not gonna feel that pain no more. That's the idea behind it. I'm not gonna feel it anymore because I assumed it either ways. But whatever you feel in that, in between, before whatever happens actually happens, you start, you're fuming. Your head is not right. You're not doing things correctly. Somebody like me, while in my overthinking process, I can get stuff done, which is not good. I can't see, and I know there's definitely worse than that out there, trust, which is not a bad thing still. But like, one thing that has actually taught me is like, you need to learn how to appreciate your own company. Let me put it that way. Because if you don't have your own stuff together, you don't have to think far. You need to just learn and be able to be like, okay, I'm going to have my space, and I'm going to, without depending on anybody or any future plans, and be like, and assume, okay, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. What if it doesn't? This person is going to do this. What if they don't? Because you end up like, just thinking the worst out of every situation and everything. I mean, all is not meant to be, because this makes people think sometimes like, because you be like, okay, just keep consistent and God is gonna do the rest. Yeah, which is like a basic principle I've been on lately. Like, just be consistent. If you want to do this, like, if you want to, what could it be? Anything. Just be consistent. Like, prepare for it. A typical example, an exam. Yeah, true. They say do your best and God is gonna do the rest. Yeah, if you don't study, you're not gonna pass, fam. It's quite simple. Like, that's like the most basic example I could come up with. If you don't study, if you don't do your part of the job, nothing is gonna happen. You're not gonna. And if you don't do that part, that's what makes you to start. If you don't do your end of the bargain, that's what makes you to start overthinking stuff. That's what makes you to start thinking the worst out of stuff. Because you always assume without putting yourself in the other, on the other side of the table, in the other person's shoes, for example. Because you're like, okay, this person, a typical example, this person, why they not texting me? Why they not replying? I keep on using that one because that's the most basic one, though. But you're like, why they not replying? Why they not doing this? Dude, they could be busy. True, you weren't informed, but stuff happens, man. You just gotta be ready to adapt to it. Yeah, and whenever they're back, y'all are gonna talk about it. Why didn't you? Okay, yeah, you should have told me. Simple. But it's not because that happened, that in between, when they weren't there, you're gonna kill yourself, damage your brain, whatever. Sorry, I shouldn't have used that, but yeah, that you're gonna put yourself in that situation where you just keep thinking like, what am I gonna do? That stuff happens. People come, people go, opportunities come, opportunities go. I'm gonna keep on repeating this. That's the same thing I said before. That doesn't mean because that didn't happen as planned that you're gonna keep thinking about it. Because I just reiterate, on the definition of overthinking once more, to think too much about something, and it's not gonna be it's like in a more harmful way than helpful to you, basically. And that just it literally says a lot. I don't know what I should, how I can put it again for it to be like easily understood and everything. But it says a lot. And like I said, it's something I used to struggle a lot with. Well, I still struggle sometimes with it, but yeah, like I used to struggle a lot with it. And one thing that I took that actually helped me over the, like the course of the time to right now is like, you have to plan for your life and everything. You need to organize whatever. But it's the simple truth about it is like, just put your leg where you see fit. Okay, not see fit, but like just put your next step on, where you can see literally. I don't know how to put that still, but you can control what is not, in your not possession. Like, you literally can't control what you don't have control of. I don't know. Make it make sense. That made sense in my head. Sorry about that. But make it make sense. You can't control what is not in your control, basically. And that takes me to this part of it. Like, I know there's people out here struggling with overthinking and feel like, because you know, sometimes it makes you feel like, because relationship wise, to be honest, it makes you feel like you're the problem, you know. And to be fair, sometimes it's not just, you know, it's not you sometimes, because overthinking, it's true sometimes, you know, like the stuff you overthink turns out to be true sometimes as well. And that's gonna be like, okay, yeah, what I was thinking was actually right. So, you know, not all the time is it like you're the problem and everything. Because when stuff happens between two people, for example, and let's say, because the first thing you're gonna overthink of is like when you guys have an argument, for example, you're gonna overthink stuff like, oh, what's she doing right now? Who's she talking with? Who's he talking with? Who's he with? Yo, what if he actually leaves me? What, you know, it gets real. Because you might be thinking all of that stuff, and yeah, they're probably talking to somebody else right now. Yeah, they're planning on leaving you. You know, all of it might be real. It's not always your fault. And even afterwards, you still overthink it and be like, yo, it was because of me. I didn't have my stuff right. And then sometimes it might be they who didn't have their stuff right. I'm not trying to encourage the overthinking aspect, whatever, because to be fair, it's not healthy. It's draining. It is genuinely draining. But like, if you can find something else to keep your head out of, you know, just to keep your head out of the water, man, so you don't overthink it, so you don't, you know, stress about stuff that you're not in control of, do something. Because me, for example, right now, I feel like I have a lot to worry about than overthink about stuff that is literally genuinely not important. Because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of things you can, you know, plan for. Give yourself projects, man. Set goals. And yeah, setting those goals doesn't mean you have to get all of those goals ticked at a go. Nah, it's just you setting priorities in your life, basically. You get, and it's really important because at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself so organized. And, you know, that's when people around you are going to realize like, oh, he actually has his stuff together. And you wouldn't even have time to negatively think about what happens around you or pay attention to all the stuff that happens around you. Because to be honest, it's really, really important to put yourself in that situation. Because once you're there, it's like chill, man. You're quiet and everything. And yeah, that's like my genuine advice out here. So thank you all for listening once more, and peace out. Thanks for listening. See you in the next episode. All love.